Yeah, 모두 다 빨리 박수 쳐. 기다리지 말고 서둘러. Reason that I'm back is to feed you raps. I see that you are 배불러. So fly.
All right, let's roll out to Los Angeles, bring in the Korean Cosell. Cosell, I got another little daily dose of Deion for you. Did you see that Stephen A. Smith is calling for Deion to be the head coach at Texas A&M? Let's watch Stephen A. Smith here in action.
All I'm going to say is this. It'll never happen. I don't believe it will happen. But let me tell you what should happen, Shannon. They should buy primetime Deion Sanders out of his contract at Colorado because he ain't going to get some hogs to show up there. That vault that they got at Texas A&M, that's oil money down there. That's oil money. Put that brother primetime Deion Sanders in the SEC. Let him get some dogs, some rough riders, some hogs up in there and watch what he does. He wouldn't be on a 4-game losing streak with a 4-6 record at Texas A&M. I can assure you of that, Shannon.
Give him some dogs. He wouldn't be on a losing streak.
The oil money.
Stephen A. Smith. Yeah. All right. So Deion in last place in the Pac-12 should be the new coach at Texas A&M. Your thoughts?
I have a question. Did they ever fight this hard for Carl Durrell to get like upwardly mobile opportunities? When how come Carl Durrell couldn't get that oil money? You know, here's the issue. First of all, I'm going to call you death and taxes. Because I'm telling you, it's death, taxes, and Whitlock talking about Coach Prime. But anyway, I find this interesting now. It went from what a great job Coach Prime is doing at Colorado, that he is building it, he's proving he can coach, to, oh, no. Now he needs to get to Texas A&M with all the oil money to win. Why is there not the expectation for him or the hope that, you know what, Prime, this is just year one, this is your floor, and you're going to build Colorado? See what they're doing? It's already, and what you call it, the hard bigotry of low expectations from those who are advocating, right? Like, if I really think a coach is good, I never tell him to take a better job. And I was actually on Coach JB's program a couple of hours ago. I've always said, and I'm going to reiterate, guys like Lance Leipold at Kansas, stay at Kansas, build that. Be somebody that they're going to build statues on that campus when it comes to football. Be that coach that they're going to name the stadium after. So again, are you saying that Deion is building something, or he just needs to be upwardly mobile to really get to that place? I don't get it, but I do.
Look, everything about these guys, Stephen A., Deion, Shannon Sharp, everything about them is about money. More money means you're more successful. Everything, if someone's willing to pay you more, that's where you go. Money's how they define themselves. And so Stephen A. doing this, one, it raises eyebrows with me because he is connected to Deion Sanders. You know, all these media grifters are connected to Deion Sanders. And is this some sort of ploy by Deion to make Colorado have to pay him more? Or does Deion have a sincere interest in the Texas A&M job? I can't believe that he does. His son, Shador, he can't transfer again. Travis Hunter can't transfer again. Shiloh can't transfer again. I mean, I'm listening to Stephen A. talk, and it's like this is part of my criticism of the entire media industrial complex. We elevate the most uninformed people to the highest platforms, and they're the authority. Stephen A. Smith is the authority. He knows nothing about college football. He knows nothing about Texas A&M. Deion Sanders would not fit the brand of Texas A&M at all. I just can't imagine he's planning on leaving his kids and running off to Texas A&M because there's more money, and leave Shador and Shiloh to be coached by someone else. Their transfer days are over. This makes no sense. This is an uninformed person or someone that's had a battery put in their back. Hey, let's help leverage Deion so he can get more money or force Colorado to spend more money on NIL collectives and buying of players. This doesn't seem like honest commentary at all to me.
Jason, you talk about the issue of the transfer portal. There's more than just his son and Travis Hunter to think about in terms of that Louis that he brought in. And he brought in a lot of Louis, right? You ever been at an airport terminal and you end up actually packing a bag and you're like, oh, God, you got to go to baggage claims, or you're taking your stuff, you're trudging out. And there's always this area near where all the luggage comes out. But there's like to the side, you ever see where there's like 75 bags? They're just strewn out all over from people that they're like, where's my luggage? Or something happened on a connecting flight. So there's all these bags that are just left there unattended, and they're just waiting for someone to pick them up, or they got to transport them somewhere else. That would be a lot of that Colorado roster that transferred specifically to play for Coach Prime if he would leave right now. Think about that. So, but again, we're speculating. Maybe Coach Prime has no issues with Colorado, and he's going to be here until at least the eligibility of his two sons and Travis Hunter expires. Now, I want to say one thing about A&M. The argument is that if you hire Coach Prime, the recruiting would go through the roof. Guys, can I tell you something? It wasn't that long ago that A&M literally had the highest rated class in the history of when these things were being graded. In terms of the value of the 5 stars and all those metrics that 24/7 and the rivals uses, it was literally the highest rated class ever with that oil money. And so so what they need is a football coach. Like Jason, I've watched a lot of A&M games. I saw them in person when they played Miami. Talent is not the issue. If their starting quarterback, Connor Wigman, does not get hurt, I actually think that Jimbo Fisher would still have his job. But I saw NFL talent all over. Evan Stewart, their wide receiver. Reuben Owens and Moss, their running backs, are very good. Walter Nolan is a war daddy. He got injured. He'll be in the NFL. Edgerrin Cooper, one of the best edge linebackers I've seen all year. What they need is a real football coach. The talent is already there. Because the argument is always, well, Deion would just recruit like a monster. Jason, they've already done that at A&M. They need a football coach.
And Steve, I'm sorry. I want to apologize to the audience, people watching this. I'm about to pat this show on the back. But this conversation isn't allowed over at ESPN in terms of letting someone informed who actually follows college football, who's actually watched Texas A&M. You think Stephen A. or Shannon Sharp have watched one Texas A&M game this year? One. Do they know anybody on the roster? No. They don't know anything about the history of it. They don't know anything about what transpired. The quarterback you named that got hurt, they don't know anything about him. They don't know anything, and that's why I'm just saying, this to me feels like Deion has put a battery in Stephen A. Smith's back and is like, hey, we got to help Prime get a new contract or get Colorado to spend even more money on the football team. And this sense of entitlement, because Deion is there. Look at all the money we've generated. And we need to take all that money and buy up recruits and give me a pay raise and all of this. Colorado has, for this conversation to even be allowed and for Deion not to quickly come out and say, hey, man, someone just said something stupid on ESPN. Because Deion watches all this stuff. He's on all these shows. He invites all these people to his games. He needs to come out and put out a statement and say, this is crazy. My sons are here. I'm committed to Colorado. We're just in year 1. But, we all know that Deion's very capable of doing a press conference and say, God told me to go to College Station, abandon my kids. I did my job at Colorado. Look at how much money I raised for them. And look how the TV ratings, my job is done there. I'm on to College Station because God told me to do it. It's.
Yeah, and to that point, Jason, I love the fact that Dan Lanning, who was building a monster at Oregon, and I've seen a lot of games. I think Oregon's as good as any team in college football not named Georgia right now. I love the fact he said, not going. Not going. And Oregon, for whatever reason, has become the stepping stone for other programs. And these coaches, unfortunately, like Mario Cristobal, Willie Taggart, have found out the grass ain't greener than Nikeville. Dan Lanning kind of knows, like, you know what? Let me stick around here and build a power on the West Coast because USC looks like they're wavering with Lincoln Riley. I'm just telling you that Texas A&M roster is replete with 4 and 5 stars. Let's say they hire the wrong coach and the kids don't like it. That thing's going to look like Escape from Saigon at the transfer portal, starting with guys like Evan Stewart, their receiver. That would be luxury shopping in the transfer portal. So if I'm A&M, I already have a list of guys that I think are going to be very, very sustainable. Personally, the guy that I think is getting the most support at College Station because of his history there, Mike Elko. I mean, when I watch Duke, I see a team with a lot of future doctors and lawyers and Riley Leonard, who's been hurt, and they're battling just about every single week. They should have beat Carolina this past Saturday. And I'm thinking to myself, Mike Elko with the real athletes would be a real issue for the SEC.
I read the name of Jeff Traylor. I was thinking of Keith Traylor that played nose tackle for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
I almost screwed up. But yeah, Jeff Traylor at UTSA has done a great job right there in Texas. He's very well known, supported, done a great job in recruiting in Texas. He's another guy. Again, I'm gonna quit calling out the other side and it's just. Excuse
Jason,
me.
I got a name. It's going to be controversial, but this man has a winning track record. You know who it is. He would come with some controversy, but start putting up some banners there at Texas 8-4. You know who it is. Urban Revival. He might have one last one in him. Urban Revival.
You go from calling him Urban Decay to now Urban Revival?
In the National Football League, you got to know who you are. It's Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz was a brilliant college coach. Cheated everywhere he went, but still brilliant. With the New York Jets, he didn't last the whole season. Went back to college, won a national title. Very tainted, by the way, in '88. Certain guys are great college coaches. Certain guys are great pro coaches. There's not a lot of Jimmy Johnsons. Those guys are so special. But Urban Revival and College Station, Jason, watch. I think it could work.
All right, we've gone from Urban Decay to Urban Revival.
I like that. I don't know who you are.
Or what we got urban gentrification. Maybe we.
No, you can't win with that many white guys. You can't win with you can't have it. Come on, let's be real. We're in the SEC. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Steve. Great job. I think Steve's headed to Las Vegas for a big fight. Awesome. Listen, if you like this content, get in the comments. Tell us what you think about Deion Sanders, Coach Prime at Texas A&M. If you really like this content, I need you to support one of our great sponsors like Cozy Earth. Go to CozyEarth.com and enter the promo code FEARLESS at checkout for up to 40% off, all backed up by a 100-night sleep trial. That's CozyEarth.com, promo code FEARLESS, to save up to 40%. CozyEarth.com. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.